Man, I just think that the caliber of what we consider an all-star was really, really significant in the 90s. I'm just being honest. Like, I witnessed, like, oh my God. Like, these guys were really super duper stars, bro. Like, I remember when AI came into the league, like, he took over the league. Like, there was a movement. Like, he was damn near Tupac as an NBA player. Like, he was do-rag. He was here. You know what I'm saying? He playing with his chain on. You know what I mean? He playing with 10 carats in his head.
Dwyane Wade once broke Kobe Bryant's nose during an All-Star game. And when he called later to apologize, Kobe's response exposed everything wrong with today's NBA mindset. Blood was streaming down Kobe's face in front of millions, and the moment wasn't treated like a joke or a highlight. It was treated like war. Wade spent the rest of that night thinking he had just made a career-ending mistake. But what Kobe told him on that phone call revealed a mentality that has almost completely disappeared from the modern league.
His goons, his camp was gully.
Yo, his security used to, his bodyguards used to be so big.
None of them had a line. Nobody got their beard done. These dudes look like they came straight from prison.
Yeah.
They had all the white people at the game like, oh my God, are they behind us?
Before getting to those three words, you have to understand what the All-Star Game used to stand for. Because Wade's recent interview doesn't just question today's players, it rips apart the idea that being an All-Star in 2024 means what it did 20 years ago. The badge doesn't carry the same fear, the same weight, or the same pressure anymore. There's this belief floating around that talent is talent, and stars are stars no matter the era. Wade doesn't buy that at all, and his reasoning goes way deeper than stats, mixtapes, or empty gym scoring runs.
So here's my take on all, just my personal take. And I've already shared why I think the game has kind of went a little watered down, because it's not just about the game anymore. If you know the schedule of all-star guys now versus then, it's about the business.
It's the business.
It's not about the game no more. As much as you have to do before you actually go perform, it's different from back in the day. But the thing I will say is this: as someone who came in, my first All-Star game being 04-05 season, the stars of the game was the one who determined how the game went.
This is about presence, about fear, about walking into an arena and commanding respect before the tip-off. Wade grew up watching the NBA in the early 90s, and when he talks about that era, his whole energy changes. Those weren't just all-stars filling roster spots. Those were icons who played every game like their name was on the line. Allen Iverson is the perfect example. When AI entered the league, basketball almost became secondary to the movement he created. Wade compared him to Tupac, and even that comparison doesn't fully capture it. Iverson wore his chain during games, and when the league pushed for a cleaner image, they wanted him gone. He rocked cornrows when league executives were pushing everyone toward clean cuts and conformity. And he rolled with an entourage that looked like they came straight out of a high security block. Wade remembers pulling up to AI's events and seeing his security up close. And it wasn't suits or polished corporate guys with earpieces and dress shoes. These were real ones in fresh Reeboks, because if something went sideways, hard-bottom shoes weren't gonna help anyone. Families in the crowd would look over their shoulders and seriously question if they were safe. That energy followed Iverson everywhere, and he never once tried to tone it down for marketability. The world adjusted to him, not the other way around.
Kobe Bryant brought it. Every All-Star.
Every All-Star.
So me as a young guy having to guard Kobe, he at my ass. I got to lock up.
Yeah, you do.
It was different because of the stars in the league. So I'm not saying that LeBron at 40 should be the one, but what I'm saying is when we came in, the stars determined how the game was going to go by what they brought to the game.
Yeah.
I'm just following suit because I'm a young fella happy to be here, but I don't want to get embarrassed by Kobe Bryant.
And Iverson was just one piece of a stacked era. Michael Jordan was still in his prime, crushing anyone bold enough to challenge him. Charles Barkley was throwing elbows and talking trash to whoever stood too close. Penny Hardaway, had already built one of the most iconic sneaker campaigns ever. Magic Johnson had changed the game and still pulled attention the second he walked into a room. Every player in those All-Star games had a signature shoe deal, and not because brands were desperate. They earned it through dominance, not follower counts. These guys were larger than life, and the All-Star game was the proving ground where the real elite showed they belonged. According to Wade, the shift started with social media, and it ran way deeper than people realized. In the 90s, athletes were the influencers. They shaped culture because they owned the spotlight. Kids didn't want to go viral. They wanted to be like Mike. They wanted Penny shoes. They wanted to cross defenders the way AI did every single night. Athletes controlled the whole conversation about style, swagger, and what greatness really looked like. That dynamic is completely flipped in today's era.
Because he broke Kobe's nose in the All-Star game.
But he was competing at a high level.
I'm a competitor.
How you break his nose?
He
Though? I always wanted to
bro.
ask you that. Bro.
Yeah, you was going to ask me that. Well, I was on your show. Why you didn't ask me on your show?
I forgot you broke Kobe nose, man.
I did.
You using all your fouls, too.
Ain't going home with none of them.
That's the competitive nature.
He don't leave no fouls on the table.
So when I came in, Kobe set the tone for the All-Star games.
Right.
Kobe would go out there and be ready to bust your ass.
Right.
So when I was that All-Star game in particular, the one we talking about, Kobe was fucking me up on the other end. He was hitting me. He was doing that little
right here.
He was hitting me, and I'm like, Kobe,
Come on, man.
He don't care. Kobe's he locked in. He's a competitor. So I lose myself a little bit. I'm like, oh, that's what we doing.
Yep.
This is where we at.
Now, shoe companies hand deals to TikTok and Instagram personalities whose entire job is just influence. Athletes still get endorsements, but the power to shape culture has slowly shifted to people who've never stepped on a court in their lives. And once that switch happened, something real about the game started slipping away. The business shift didn't stop with shoes and marketing either. Wade broke down how a modern all-star schedule looks nothing like it did back then. Media duties pile up for weeks. Sponsorship commitments demand non-stop attention. Content creation cuts into practice time. Appearances pull players in 12 directions at once. The actual game turns into just one piece of a massive corporate machine. And when business comes before competition, the fire gets harder to keep lit. You can't show up to the All-Star game ready to dominate when you've spent 3 straight days doing interviews, photo shoots, and brand activations. Your mind drifts. Your energy gets split. Wade sees it every time he watches modern All-Star weekends. Players are physically there, but mentally somewhere else entirely.
Get the ball, because I'm fucking you up. Right? That's all I'm thinking. I'm about to foul you, because now you fucking me up down there, and the ref ain't calling it. We're in the All-Star game. No one sees this but me and you. Right. And I told you 3 times, Cole, stop doing that. So I was like,
yo, here come that Chicago. Stop doing that.
I was like, so I'm a person who I'm gonna handle it. Okay. Now, mind you, didn't try to bust nobody nose that, you know what I mean? But I did try to foul the shit out of him just to let him know you're not gonna play here. So I let him go. He went into this thing. I and then I saw him grab his nose and I started bleeding. I was like, uh-oh.
Bro, he gave you the look like this, like.
No, he ain't say nothing. No, he scared me because he ain't say nothing to me.
Yeah, he's scary.
I was like, Kobe, you all right?
And Wade isn't talking from the outside looking in. He lived it. He lived through that shift himself. Wade's first All-Star nod came in the 2004 to 2005 season. And what he walked into felt nothing like today's laid-back vibe. Back then, stars refused to treat the All-Star game like a vacation. They treated it like a statement about pride, about identity, about who really mattered. And the one enforcing that standard harder than anyone was Kobe Bryant.
He like a broke nose. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I told him, I said that so when I called him about the All-Star, I was like, hey, bro, like, we good?
We good?
Yeah. Are you cool? And he was like, I love it. And I was scared as hell. I'm like, oh, he about to give me 40.
That's a different mindset.
He about to give me 40 in L.A. So
Wade showed up young, excited, just grateful to be in the room with legends. He wasn't trying to prove a point. He wanted to soak it all in and enjoy the moment. Kobe arrived on a completely different mission. He showed up ready to tear through anyone wearing the other jersey. The word exhibition meant nothing to him. No standings, no stakes, no excuses. It didn't matter. Kobe played every single possession like it was Game 7 of the final. That intensity spilled into the whole arena. When the best player on the floor goes that hard, everyone else has 2 choices: match it or look like they don't belong. Wade learned that lesson the hard way. He got stuck guarding Kobe in one of those games, and Kobe went straight to work, not just scoring, but imposing his will on every possession. Elbows flying, bodies bumping, shoves off the ball. That deadly shoulder fake kept coming again and again. Wade tried to tell him to relax, saying it was just an exhibition and they should have fun. Kobe ignored all of it. He wasn't there to make friends or entertain casually. He was there to dominate, period. He wanted to win even when winning didn't officially matter. That mindset forced Wade to make a choice that shaped how he competed for the rest of his career. If Kobe was bringing that level of heat, then Wade decided he'd meet it head on. He stopped whining about the contact. He stopped looking at refs for calls he knew weren't coming in an exhibition. He started matching Kobe's energy possession by possession. And then came the moment that flipped everything upside down. Kobe attacked again with that same relentless style, and Wade finally snapped. He fouled him hard. Not a clean basketball play, not a play on the ball, but a statement meant to draw a line. And that's when it happened. Blood showed up almost instantly. Kobe grabbed his nose as red streamed through his fingers in front of the entire world. Wade's stomach dropped. He had just broken Kobe Bryant's nose during an all-star game seen by millions. On the outside, he tried to stay calm, but inside, panic was hitting full speed. He walked over and asked Kobe if he was okay. Kobe didn't answer. No yelling, no threats, no anger. He just stood there in silence, blood running down his face and soaking into his jersey. That quiet hit harder than any meltdown ever could. Wade spent the rest of that game convinced he had just made a career-ending mistake. Not physically fatal, but professionally disastrous. Kobe's reputation for holding grudges was legendary. He remembered everything and paid people back over time. Wade pictured the future already. Kobe dropping 50 on him in Los Angeles. The crowd exploding. A vendetta that would follow him for years. He couldn't shake the feeling that he'd awakened something he couldn't control. After the game ended, Wade did something most players wouldn't dare to do. He picked up his phone and called Kobe directly. No agents, no team officials, no mutual friends playing middleman. He dialed the number of the man whose nose he had just broken and waited to hear his fate. His mind was racing. Maybe an angry voicemail, maybe silence, maybe a warning wrapped in competitive code. What Kobe actually said caught him completely off guard. 3 words came through the phone. I loved it. Not, we're good. Not, don't worry about it. No polite response meant to calm nerves. Kobe genuinely loved what happened. He loved that Wade matched his intensity in a game most players treated like it didn't matter. He loved that someone on that court actually competed, like the result meant something. He loved that. For one night, the All-Star game felt like real basketball instead of a glorified layup line. That response says everything about the mindset that once defined this league, and Wade believes that mindset has nearly vanished from the modern game. A broken nose wasn't a problem, it was respect. It was proof you showed up ready to fight for something real. Now imagine that same moment happening today. A player breaks another player's nose in an all-star game and social media detonates instantly. Hot take shows argue for a full week about dirty plays, intent, and apologies. The competition gets buried under noise and the message gets lost. Players today would be firing off passive-aggressive sub-tweets within minutes. Someone would demand a public apology. The league office would probably drop a statement about player safety and sportsmanship. Kobe saw his own blood and felt alive. He saw a competitor willing to match his energy when nobody else would. And that earned more respect than any highlight dunk ever could. That gap in mentality is exactly what Wade means when he says the All-Star game has fundamentally changed. The issue isn't the final score, the lack of wild dunks, or even lazy defense on a few plays. The real problem is the disappearance of that competitive hunger, the willingness to go hard even when the stakes are low. It's the understanding that how you play always matters, whether the game counts in the standings or not. Watch a recent All-Star game and something feels off within minutes. Elite talent goes through the motions, with defense that looks worse than a halftime celebrity run. Possessions turn into laughs and jokes with opponents instead of real attempts to score. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the moment, But there's a huge difference between having fun and completely checking out. The old All-Star games had fun too. The fun came from competition itself, from trying to embarrass another star on national TV, from proving you belonged with the absolute best on the planet. Wade leaves a simple question hanging that nobody seems able to answer now. Who sets the tone? In his era, Kobe did it every year. Before Kobe, Jordan carried that weight. Magic and Bird pushed each other to compete at the highest level, no matter the circumstances. Every generation had that guy, someone who refused to let the All-Star game turn into a joke, someone who demanded excellence just by how they carried themselves on the floor. Today, Wade says he doesn't see that player anywhere. And when nobody sets the tone from the top, the game naturally slides toward the path of least resistance. Least effort means not really trying at all. Some people brush this off as old head talk, the usual complaints about the younger generation. Wade's heard that noise before, but that's not his argument. He's not saying modern players lack skill or talent. Anyone watching the league today knows the skill level is insane. What he's saying is they're missing something that exists outside of talent entirely. You can have all the ability in the world and still lack competitive fire. That fire is what made players like Kobe, Jordan, and Iverson transcend basketball itself. And that fire can't be taught. You either have it in you or you don't. Right now, the All-Star game is full of players who have everything except that burning need to win. The real question is whether that mentality can ever come back. Whether one young player finally decides they're not going to let this event waste everyone's time anymore. Whether someone shows up with Kobe's mindset and forces everyone else to rise or get exposed. The potential is there. Plenty of players show that edge during the season, but bringing it to All-Star Weekend is a completely different challenge. The culture has shifted so far toward treating this game like it means nothing, that turning it around might require something we haven't seen in years. Wade lived through the peak era of real All-Star competition. He felt what it was like to guard players who honestly wanted to break you, even in an exhibition. He broke Kobe Bryant's nose in that setting and earned respect because of it, not backlash. Now he looks at the game and barely recognizes it. Not worse in raw talent, just emptier in meaning and purpose. The All-Star game used to be a proving ground, a stage where players showed they truly belonged with the elite. Now it's just a weekend where the best players in the world happen to be in the same building. No real stakes, no real edge. And maybe that's acceptable in an era obsessed with load management and injury prevention. Maybe asking players to go hard in a game that doesn't technically count feels like too much. But if that's the reality, then let's stop pretending this game carries real weight. Fans should stop voting like they're picking the best players and admit they're just choosing the most popular names. Because right now, a game that wants respect refuses to actually be serious about anything. Wade's message is simple and impossible to argue with. The All-Star game used to matter because the players made it matter, not the league office with format tweaks, not the fans with votes, not the media with hype. The meaning came from competition, and that's what's missing now. The players once decided that stepping on that floor demanded their best effort and real competition. Until that mindset comes back through someone brave enough to set the tone, the game will keep feeling like what it's turned into, a glorified scrimmage between millionaires who'd rather be anywhere else. Drop your thoughts below on whether Wade nailed this or if nostalgia is blurring the picture. If this video made you rethink the state of the league, hit like, subscribe, and share to help the channel grow, and we'll keep it moving.